We'll just try to stick to the schedule of every Saturday. It's a crush day. Want to do this earlier, then I realized I've been too early, and then something else happened, and it's been like, oh man. And I said, should I? Well, I don't even know if I just don't do it. But you know what? I would notice. And I said, I'm going to make a genuine attempt to put a live up every Saturday. Because that's really the only day I have to do it. And I might, wimp out and put up just a 15-minute live, but that's okay, I think. It's better than nothing, and then I can say, hey, I did it. I'm trying to shoot for 1 hour lives. It is 2015 here already. I gotta get up early for that day starts. Hey, how you doing, man? I got some props here for the other video I did. And I gotta share it because I did put another video, but I want the traction for this. 75283. This is Lego's latest CIS AAT. As you know, if you watch this channel, I do kind of like I'm feeling the AATs. I really do. This probably is, like most people out there, probably the least favorite one. I do see some positives. I do like the wider gun turret. I like the width of it. It actually works. These guns really need, if you want them to be more accurate in the universe, these need to be reversed. We all know that. But some of the building construction here was not bad. It was interesting. Probably this next year, 2024, probably I may tear one of these apart and look at widening it back here, getting rid of this, and I'm not sure. This is too big, and I might look at modifying this up and creating the area here larger, and to accommodate this massive turret here, I'm gonna have to, I think, widen it. Maybe I'm thinking about breaking it and adding 2 extra rocket launchers or spring-loaded shooters here. That would probably be good. That would probably do it. In fact, I just now noticed. If you peep in underneath here, you can see the little pink brick right there where the Lego likes to sneak those pink bricks in here and there. Anyways, so there it is. Everyone's biggest saying was to modify it by, removing here, which works. But actually the easiest one, and the one that I did when I first got the set, just pull that off. And it actually creates a very realistic looking little gun. It's not bad. It works. It does. Of course, you can also put a shortened one in here, Axel, and drop this down, but that almost makes it a little too short. But this is not bad. Anyways, so everyone is always doing that, talking about shortening that, and of course I had some fun, and I did little troll videos, and this has been getting longer and longer in my videos throughout the year. I've done some different ones. I tried some 2-piece ones, but this is all a 1-piece Lego piece here, Lego Axel. I mean, I just love that. That's just hysterical, I think. I mean, look at that. But if that's the same, the one the easiest thing to do is just switch these guns over, because all the other Lego AATs, they've been switched over, and it's not a bad set. But anyways, and the reason I got into that was because based on 75080 from 2015, Lego's AAT, and I'm building an army of these. Literally, my plan is to have 24 of these, and then 1 command unit, which I'll probably hit with yellow and a few key spots to try to imitate the look of the droid. I think I'm at 20 or 21. I don't know. I've kind of lost count and kind of lost interest. Like, I don't really enjoy dragging them out and doing anything with them. They just sort of sit on a shelf or sit in a box, Anyways, that one is what spawned my custom build this year of the CIS AAT, which I think is great. I think it came out pretty good. Been a lot of great comments out there, but maybe I should have left some black for the guns, and I totally agree. But the reason I want to do such a stark gray and blue is because I thought it really captured the whole feel of, I put blue wherever I could, wherever Lego makes pieces, just try to get that feel. And what I really like about that is It's just great. It shows that pieces, and I got the idea. I literally owe the idea to Lego because my set 75283 fell to the floor during the earthquake. Or no, it was an earthquake, not the big one. But anyways, and it just went all to pieces. And I'm like, you know what? You just lay there, then you. And you know how it is. I started ordering parts from it, and ripping parts off, and then the little blue pieces were left. I'm like, that works. So all the parts outside, and even internally, are the same as a 75080, because I want to kind of go with the story that, hey, CIS war, Trade Federation days are over, but the war is starting, and they're just taking paint and just repainting them, because, as you know, oh hey, thanks, man. Yeah, I think it came out pretty good, actually. And it's like I said, it's a boilerplate. I know that some of them had heavier weapons, some of them had heavier turrets, and there's definitely some direction to go. But this gives me a starting point. And with that, the old 75283, Lego did get this right. The turrets are dramatically different shaped in universe to the source material. I don't care for this look necessarily, but this isn't a bad starting spot. I like mine with the use of the stripes, and there's no stickers or anything, but I think the biggest thing I would do with this, I'm going to modify one, is I'm going to break it and split it up, and probably put an extra tube on each side and do something to extend it. Get it less tall and lanky with this almost no room here, versus like Lego 75080. There's a much more visible room. It has a short, stubby look to it. It just looks more, I don't know, more like a tank, I suppose. But yeah, that's where we're at, and it's not an awful build. There's no place really for the guy to go or anything. But I think that if you took Lego 75283 and you ran it back a little bit, put more of a slope here, built this up, and made more of a base, more of a starting point for this turret. So you need to just widen the scale. What it is you need to think, man, this is not in the right scale. It needs to go one scale up, like a mid-size. Yeah, the barrel. Actually, I've talked about that. Yeah, yeah, it's the barrel, and that's why. In fact, when I got this 28283, I just didn't put the barrel piece on. But actually, to be honest, you need to actually remove one of these sections here. Well, then, unless you've missed my other video, this is my modified one. I did as a joke to show that you can shorten the barrel like everybody on YouTube, or you can make it a little bit longer. And that is actually a Lego piece in there. Yeah, that's the thing about Lego sets is you can be a purist, but yeah, people say, "Well, I'm a Lego purist." It's, oh, that's fine, but the best thing is that's why you can always leave one set just perfect as Lego released it, and then you can always modify a set or might give you some ideas on what to do. It's just that's the whole thing about Lego. I mean, I think that's the biggest strength. It's so modular, and that's where the criticism for Lego comes from the community is we know what they're capable of. We've seen some fantastic sets. So whenever it feels like they just did the same thing or they took a lazy way out, everybody's like, oh man, and it's true. But they're just amazing, and I really like their stuff. But sometimes it seems like they take a little lazy way out and they get called for it. Yeah, to have the original set, absolutely. Even if you build a mock to have ideas, if you can afford the parts, I think it's good to have like your original. That way you can have a starting point to come back from. But I really like that 2015 for just such a basic little thing that they made. It almost feels like a microfighter. It didn't have stickers. It didn't have printed elements, which printed element here would have been nice, but what I like about it is if you want to build a bunch of these for an army or a mock, you don't have to buy Lego sets. You can actually piece them together on Bricklink. Some of the parts are a little bit rare, but some of the internal parts, it doesn't really matter if they're the right color. It doesn't. I mean, if you want to be a purist, absolutely, they are available, and they're not bad. They're not bad. Yeah, and they are pretty cheap. Yeah, I mean, I've actually pieced one of these together for like $12. Granted, I'll be honest, so those parts came from a thrift store. Literally, they said, "Oh, there's a bunch of old Lego stuff here. It's dirty and stuff." And it was, and they had like Lepin mixed in and some of the French bricks. But in between, I saw some good pieces, and it was like $7, and it provided a lot of parts for one of these. So, yeah, yep, that's sometimes a way to go. Just look for those deals. Those kind of deals just sort of sneak up on you most of the time. Some of the parts are a little bit tough. Like on my mock here, one of the hardest parts, and it's not hard like hard, but the 2x3 dark blues that go here that replace the tan ones. They were only made in 1993 and one other set, because I'm like, I can't find them. And I got onto Bricklink and, or no, Brickowl, and they had a whole history. They were only been available release up sometimes. I currently, I think, have 19 or 20 of these. I want to do 24 with like a command unit. I really like the old 2001 with the printed, but it doesn't really stack up to the later models. It's just nostalgia, But I think it's important to have at least one of the very first ones. Republic Frigate set for about a year now. Oh wow, 20 parts. That is amazing. I hear you there. I am currently working on the 2003 UCS Star Destroyer, and even if every part was there, which it isn't, the magnets have like all but become useless. I mean, I'm using some Technic pins to help hold the bottom pans in, or the pieces in, because they just will sag, and then they break loose because the parts have lost their clutch, and it's old Lego sets that will look like it was put together and taken apart many times. But yeah, I don't like to break old pieces, but I might see if there's some damaged Lego magnets out there. I might replace them with neodymium, whatever that, and do it that way. Yeah, it would be a dream accomplished. That's cool. Yeah, the Republic Frigate would be a good set to have. Yeah, it's the magnets, and I watch YouTube videos on it, and I was aware of it. But it depends. I mean, like, I've seen some people's that are fine, and then others not so good. Like, I got a 2008 gunship from the Clone Wars, and the stickers, there's not a single peeling sticker. But the stickers have, not only have they yellowed, they've actually crazed like old porcelain. They're like thousands of tiny, tiny cracks. They're not rough, but they just look like like the Sistine ceilings paintings. And I think it's actually cool in a way. It looks really antique, like like you might see an old warbird in a museum. It kind of looks like that. Yeah, the 2019 Star Destroyer was supposed to be a big improvement. Yeah, the crazing. I've seen it only a couple times. It's certain stickers. The ones with the clear backing don't do it. There was years ago. I mean, like years ago, Model Trains magazine, Model Railroader. There was a guy who gave a technique on how to cause that, if you intentionally cause it to crack, for like transfers, your decals. And the reason was to get that weathered look really quickly. Yeah, it's an absolute battle damage look. It looks, I mean, it looks actually old. Of course, I guess it's, somebody's assembled it back in 2008, so it is actually legitimately old. It's kind of funny. But yeah, I really like the Lego sets, and I like stuff coming out. I like to see all the Clone Wars stuff coming out. Keep seeing pictures, people posting the Venator. I would love to have it. I mean, money is one thing, and then the other thing is space. I mean, literally, they take up a big space. UCS sets are big. I think that Balak is going to be a must cop. I'm very excited about that. You're talking about the one with the tri droid, I imagine. Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing the Super Battle Droids. I like the Super Battle Droids. I was very aware that they haven't made any in years. I mean, I've got a few. I even have one of the pearl ones, the pearly blue ones, which are really fragile. Mine has a cracked arm. I know the price of that vendor. I mean, I'm not saying the vendor is not worth it. It's not that. It's just the price. I mean, it's like a guy at work bought a Ford Dually and paid like 106,000 for it. Number one, and I didn't say nothing. I didn't say that because I almost said it. He still lives with his parents. I almost said, but don't you still live with your parents? I didn't say it. He's 50 years old. I didn't say nothing. Nope. I just. It's all right. Everybody's got their things. Yeah, news revealers have a bit of a new mold. That's what I keep hearing, that the details are. Yeah, we shall see. I'm definitely looking forward to seeing it. I like to see improvements on Lego. I mean, that's why everybody's saying, well, the B1 Battle Droids. I'm like, well, it's kind of hard to improve on. The B1 Battle Droids just work. I mean, oh, really? Early? Oh, cool. UCS has a shuttle, the Quickie Mart. Yeah, there's some. And then I was like at Target recently, and they just, even like some of those botanical sets, and that's about as far away from Star Wars you can get. Although, when I looked at the botanical sets, I thought there's some mock building ideas. You could definitely add some clones to like that bonsai tree and stuff. It would look kind of epic, actually. Yeah, the B ones are timeless. They were absolutely ahead of their time. I mean, I think that one of the things that definitely gave me traction to really go into Lego Star Wars were the B ones, because let's face it, they literally capture the look of them from the movie. In fact, I think there's one right here. Yeah, yeah, his head popped off, but look at that. They work. I mean, they look like they're Lego, and yet they look like the battle droids. It's just a great look. They absolutely knocked it out of the park. One thing about the Super Battle Droid I've never cared for is a hollow back, and I'm not saying that's a criticism, but if we're just sitting here talking about things I'd like to see improved, that might be one. That's probably one of them. Yeah, the B ones don't really need to be changed. They're fine. Yeah, the empty backs of the B1 Battlers. Yeah, thanks for the idea. Yeah, I think that one of those like bonds. That's why I sometimes look at just different Lego sets. I mean, and go, well, those botanicals. Like when I saw the cactus ones, the succulent set come out, I'm like, there's possibilities that could give you an idea about maybe plants or things for a mock for like a Clone Wars. Very easy. Yeah, yeah, just a hollowness. I mean, I think that's probably how they got the detail to really push the mold in, but that's something that could be addressed. Have a back. I mean, they have back printing now. They still don't really do the sides of the legs that much, but yeah, the Lego sets are pretty amazing though. I like the sets and the number of pieces they make. Some of the different build techniques, and some things have become illegal and some things that are legal now. Kind droid. I got a couple of those. I like the head. I think really got the shape of it good. I think it's fine. Um, I got one of the rocket droids, just a B1 recolored with a binocular piece. There have been some really, really rare Lego droid. So the one, that silver C3PO was at not KPO from the Phantom Menace. That's been going up in price. Yeah, the illegal techniques. I don't remember, but there's been a couple of sets just recently from Lego where they tell you to put the pieces in the edge to create that grill, and I'm like, they always said not to do that. It does create stress. But then back in the 70s, that's how you did the little tails on little airplanes too. You know, the same way. And I have some of those sets I put together as a kid, and God, what are they, like 45 years old now, and they haven't cracked. Although brittle blue. The more recent dark red, which they seem to have addressed when I put that Coruscant Guard gunship together. I noticed the red looks like it's a slightly different shade. I didn't have any of the old red handy to compare, but the feel of the plastic feels a little bit different too. Yeah, that's kind of what, when I got back, when I started doing YouTube videos, and I dug out my old Caravelle. It's a 1972 set. It's a little plane that my mom bought me at the airport. She used to work at the airport, so set 687. And the thing is, I think somebody on the community pointed out that he's like, I know it's a very dated set, but he's like, if sets like that were being released like in little baggies for $12.99 or $9.99 or whatever at Walmart every month or a couple times a year, they'd still sell. I mean, people would still want them. Lego's quite timeless. I mean, they really, really are. Really, it's up to your imagination. And having, themes and the rules of certain themes helps. I am still, for whoever's interested, I'm still getting pieces together for Geonosian stuff, and dark orange is hard to find. Magna Guard Starfighter. I hadn't even thought about that one. Yeah, the dark red, especially towels. I've seen so many broken ones. And of course, reddish brown, both in towels and actually plates. And that blue. I think those are the three worst I've seen. I mean, I've seen a few others here and there, but I mean, the brittle brown, I actually dropped one on the table, like just, and it cracked just a corner. I'm like staring at one. You gotta be kidding, I know there was probably a piece sitting here on this rack because I was like putting together a set or something, and I know I'd read into broken pieces. Yeah, there's something, I think. Little dark red, tips broken off. I mean, it could still be used in a set, but that's a nasty break. I mean, not much you can really do about that. Oh. Yeah, it's terrible. I have all those broken pieces. Yeah, the worst. This one actually came. It's one of the ski pole pieces. If you know, the piece has a little tip that sticks out here. You can probably see where it's broken off. And it's the gun. It's a gun piece of the chin guns on the 074. Anyways, the 2014 AT-AT playset had two of these, and they just stick in, and those would snap ops sometimes, which is just great. Yeah, we got broken dark red in here. Got another one of these. That's just great. And then, oh yeah, look at this. A 1x1 stud with that broken off. And here, this used to be a 2L axle connector. Those are the pieces for the missile launchers on top of the, I think, the 2008 7676 gunship, I believe. How that happened is it came in from eBay and it was broken. And it was still stuck in the thing because the person had disassembled a large part of the set. But delicate things like guns sticking out, They left those in there, and they were broken off. Yep. I burned it, but I wish I'd almost saved it. I had a box that looked like it had gone through the glue factory. I mean, they did. They literally hot glued the boxes they assembled. They didn't get anything on the Lego sets, but it's like, sawing out with a knife going, do you guys have any idea how hard it is to get in this thing? But hey, it's secure, right? Yeah. Yeah, those connecting pieces. Yeah, the dark red. In fact, I think I was watching one of whose videos, might have been M&R videos, about the UCS Sandcrawler, and he was just like showing on the video, and there was like a couple of broken reddish browns on that one. Really, the lightsaber hilt pieces. I know that. What was the deal? You reminded me. Is that the chrome was peel off or something? Or the really early ones? I know I have a Jedi Bob here, and the guy was who I bought it from. He's like, very big deal about the lightsaber, and he says it's going to be disassembled and packed this way unless you have some reason to don't unpack it. I had an extra one for him for display, but it is perfect. I haven't looked at it under magnification. It's like a perfect lightsaber hilt. That's cool. That's really cool. I'd heard that like certain colors had like drained out the moisture or the flexibility of the plastic, but it's worse than that. It's like someone like they just crack. Even if you're not messing with it, they just crack to crack or something. I don't know. Oh, the old the old brittle blue was something, but some of this dark blue here also cracks, but it's nothing like the old colors. But I noticed, I think it was a tiles, like 1x4 tiles or 1x2, something like that. The tiles, it would like when you go to remove them, sometimes the corner would snap off, which is just great. I mean, right? It's just wonderful. It's like, oh, great. Yeah, it is absolutely hysterical, the price. I know. Yeah, I know. Probably because I don't understand. I mean, he is a generic figure. The figure is great, it is, but it's just a generic figure. I mean, to be honest, some of those figures, like somebody asked me, no, when at work, like, wouldn't you love to have the original Cloud City? Yeah, sure, because of the money, really. As far as like, if you could only have one set on display, would that be it? No. I think that the old Death Star 2 for a UCS, that would be more impressive. I mean, there's all kinds of UCS. There's even playsets that would be, if you just had to have like one display piece out there, they're not worth hardly as much, but they're nice. But yeah, Jedi Bob, and I think the other one I have that's worth a lot is I have a Darth Revan from the Rebels release. Was that 2014? I've got a couple of like valuable figures, but for the most part, most of mine are just regular figures. Although, saying that, I mean the basic white clones are kind of expensive to buy. I tell you what shocked me was I found one and I ended up getting a good deal, but was the Wolfpack clones. That's really surprised me. They've really gone up. Chris only released it one time, but Jedi Bob, I think is special because, like I said, he's a generic figure. They just threw him and they made him. And best of all, he's got yellow skin, which I think is great. I mean, if you ever did, like those old movies like Scary Movie and stuff that made like spoofs of real horror movies, if they ever made a spoof of Star Wars, especially Clone Wars, there would have to be a Jedi Bob, and he'd have to have yellow skin. And the sad part is only the people in this, probably in the Lego universe, would get it. They go, "Oh yeah, hey, there he is. There's Jedi Bob." But oh well. I do like the yellow skin color for Legos. It's classic. I mean, I'm glad that they have natural skin color now, but there's just something so classic about that original yellow, that little smiley face. Oh, that used to creep me out as a kid. I used to, my first minifigs that were like minifigs like we have now, were the space, and then we had the castle ones. And as a little kid, it kind of freaked me out that the guy's like swinging an axe and got that smiley face on it. It's kind of creepy. Yeah, what's worth what's worth. Yeah, absolutely. Oh, hey y'all. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I've been trying to do a stream on this Saturday, and sometimes my timing gets a little bit muxed up, but staring at a screen over there, if you're wondering. I used to like build like Lego sets while doing the streams. And mostly tonight, I'm sitting here kind of wishing I could work on my Star Destroyer, but knowing I don't really want to get into it, knowing I gotta like get ready for work and go to sleep soon. So I hate to be interrupted like that. I like to just get into the zone and just work on. I don't like to have something hanging over your head. Like I remember, I wasn't intentionally building a gun army. Just I was getting them really cheap here and there. And now, no surprise, the guns are going up, and like Geonosians, like the zombie one, kind of hard to find those. A little bit, not hard to find, but they're getting pricey. Classy with it, really? Wow. Well, oh, my favorite set that I don't have. Oh, oh. Hmm. Well, I know the set I really want, even though I know it's not going to live up to the hype. I'm really, really looking forward to trying to find reasonably priced. The original PlayScale AT-AT was it? It's not 4481. Is that 4481? The 2003 one, I think, with the old gray. I love the color of old gray. I think it has a dingy look that really fits the Star Wars universe. I know that that's the one that the head falls off of. I know that it's just constantly dropping parts. Even like big YouTubers that have like a perfect one, they touch it and like pieces fall off. I know it's awful, but that is kind of a dream set for me. It is. Yeah, I like the old gray. It just it just has like a natural grittiness to it. But I would like to get that set, the original AT-AT. That's definitely one of my bucket list sets. It absolutely is, and that's not even particularly valuable. Just I, I'm not okay paying a certain price. Somebody's like, "Oh yeah, I want hundreds of dollars." Like, no, I don't want to do that. Or the shipping will be $100. I don't want to do that. Oh yeah, yeah. Actually, you're right. The old glazed windows. I do actually have the original ETTE up there. I pieced it together, and it has the old parts, and it has those cool clones that just have the hole in the helmet with the black studs underneath. That's actually really cool. It looks to me like a big cockroach. It sits at low and it's so long looking, but it is definitely a set. I really, really like that one. That one's drops parts all the time, like you can't hardly touch it. Yeah, Alaska's where I'm at, and like I ship out like secondhand sneakers and stuff on eBay, and people was like, "Oh my God, you charge so much for shipping." I'm like, "Yeah, it's expensive to ship out here," and it gets me because shipping in isn't; it's shipping out, which. And then, of course, sometimes people use this really cheap shipping, and you end up like in my situation where I've got a Geonosian figure, a zombie one, if I remember. It's been so long. It hit Seattle a month ago, and it's still not here. A big cockroach. It does, though. But it's cool because it kind of fits the whole armored look, I mean, it does. I mean, I like the eight. Don't get me wrong. I loved watching Empire Strikes Back. I was a little kid. I loved the look of the AT-ATs, but they're so tall. It doesn't make as much sense as a low squat look of the ATTE. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. 469. Yeah, the Geonosian. I mean, he was cheap, and I almost thought about sending an email like, "Hey, I know you're charging like 399 for shipping, but I'll pay more." But now, yeah, I would have gladly paid a couple dollars more, made it first class. Yeah, the price is crazy. I was kind of the reason I was kind of getting into the Geonosians a little bit is I rewatched an episode. Oh, what was it called on the Clone Wars, where they go after the queen of the Geonosians, the insect guys under the in the caverns of Geonosis, and they found a zombie army of Geonosians, the insects, and it's kind of cool because me and my friends we play a little bit of Warhammer, and a couple times we experiment by using Lego minifigures on small green bases or whatever color round bases usually. The same rules as Warhammer, and like a tank, for example, AAT would have like so many points of damage, damage points, armor points, roll dice for the range, etc. And in Warhammer, regular Warhammer 40K or even fantasy, zombie armies and stuff have a special protection. They're mindless, but they're also really hard to kill, of course, because. And I was just like, oh, that'd be cool if Lego had them like the zombies. The Geonosian zombies would totally fit that, and they're hive-minded. Yeah, it is. It's a very dark one though. Yeah, it's a great episode. It's dark. It is. I mean, it really is. But yeah, the hive minds definitely makes sense. Yeah, yeah, the Warhammer is really cool, and of course that is where, and I keep showing this, and for everyone who's already said I'm sorry, but that's where the idea of the Vanquisher on the Lemur came from. I had some fun with that, but yeah, Lego is so great. Plus, where I was kind of kidding, we were talking about, and a friend of mine's like, "Well, Lego pieces would be perfect for making ruins and blown up buildings." One, yeah, it would, and that's when the idea really started rolling. We're like, okay, the massive barrel. Yeah. Hey, Vanquisher, I did a short video earlier today with it too, just because that's gonna be it's sort of my last troll one of the year. But it's just like I was just sitting here messing with parts and trying to escape into the world of Lego from the reality of my job, and I was like, I might as well talk about shortening the barrel. What if we go the other way? Yeah, I definitely like the community out here in the Legoverse. It's getting late. It's almost 9 my time here, or 2100 hours if I was at work. So streams at 40 minutes. I don't know what time zones y'all are at, but I'm sure it's probably late. It might be early. I know last stream we had someone from near London, North London, and he says actually it's early in the morning here, you know. Oh, really? That's funny. Yeah, it's just about 9 here, 8:56. It's late there too. Yeah. Well, I really appreciate everybody's coming in tonight. I'll probably give 5 minutes to roll it up and end the stream. Really appreciate everybody dropping by, and please leave the comments if you have ideas on things you want to do with Lego sets or armies. Everybody's always doing clone armies. I love clone armies too. In fact, I did a battle bomb squad army a couple of years ago, and the idea was just to show that you don't have to like buy hundreds of dollars at one time. You can just put aside $10, $15. Hey, good night. And then with that, a guy did a video about vehicles that he thought people's Lego armies were missing vehicles. I thought, well, shoot, why not a mechanized army, especially with the droids? Because you can do your MTTs, your platoon carriers, and of course the AATs. You know. It did. Yeah, but my battery's running down, and I got to get up to go to work soon. I'll go to sleep. I do appreciate everybody dropping in, though. It was a blast, and actually, I really appreciate everybody tonight too. Anyways, really appreciate the community out there. Keep me posted on what you guys are doing for your builds and ideas and collections, and what sets you're looking at or you already picked up this year. What will the new year bring? Anyways, you all have a good night out there. Do really appreciate y'all. Take care. All right. Appreciate it. Good night.